in my opinion, I feel a lot of people are lacking behind in terms of education and knowledge. They don't really believe that anything good can come out. So, and they are the ones sabotaging the efforts of people who are willing to put in the effort. To effect the change. So I believe education, a way of getting vital information to the grassroots to make people see that things can be better if they are willing to do some things on their part. I believe that is necessary.
Thank you very much, sir. The time is up. Sorry for cutting you, but let's just quickly try to fix everything in 2 minutes so everybody can participate. So the next person is Mr. Didamola Oyewole. Please unmute yourself and contribute, sir.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. So my own candid contribution is just what I've experienced so far. It's what I've seen. I realized that, like Theophilus rightly said, if we look at what is going on in this country, everything is, in fact, it's fucked up from grassroots to the top, from top to grassroots. And let's boil it down to where, because we all know how the education system is. Let's look at those that, for example, those that came out with first class in our school and those that came out with. If we look at those that are in the education system, we realize that in the education system, there's no passion to teach, there's no passion to give out. I met someone recently, he finished Mr. Sunday. I don't know if any of us knows him, Mr. Sunday or Larry. He finished from Total Mining Engineering. They're working together presently. He finished with first class in 2003 or 2004, kind of. So with what I've gained from him so far, I realized that this country, we are not ready to give in or give out what we have, like our potential. We are not even if we are giving it out, we are not giving it out based on our own will. We are giving it out based on frustration. For example, now, let's say most of our lecturers, they are lecturing based on frustration. They are not lecturing based on their passion to pass out information, to pass out knowledge to people. Now, let's take a survey of list of people in the education system. Most of them, either you come out with 2 because you don't have a job, you go for masters. Then after finishing masters, you don't have a job, you go for PhD. Then after you finish PhD, you enter into the education system. That is fucked up.
Let's try to wrap up.
So sorry. So let's say now, even those people that came out with first class, they don't want to go into the education system. You can't pay them. So everything is just, I don't know, see, the best thing now is to Japa, as we are all here to do. So let's just see how it goes. Maybe in the future we can do something about it. But presently, I don't know, everything else. So.
Thank you, Mr. Didamola. Mr. Onibaba Yanesa.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, I won't like to say much about the problems of this country because we already know the problem of the country. We only know the solution to the problem of this country. And as we have said in the morning, the main solution for now is just for us to find a new side of the country. Because now to 2023, it's a long time. It's a long time for us to even make it. It's a long time for us to live this country. And it's a long time for our future to be bright. Just imagine you outside this country. At the long run, don't tell me if there is chance for you to start, you can still come back to good for the right stuff. That is key. But for now, I feel the solution to our problem is moving out of this country. I call it Operation JP or Control JP, which is Control Japa. You
That was
understand?
season 1.
Yes, season 1. So I just have the solution. And if we are not asked to vote, enlightening people during the 2023 election on how to vote, who to vote for, and what they should ask from the leaders that are coming. So that would be the solution to people, to the issues at large. So thank you very much, Mr. Robo.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's move on to Hussein Wale. I'm just seeing you. Please unmute yourself and contribute. The question on ground is, what do you feel the problem in Nigeria is, and what can be done to solve the problem? So you have 1 to 2 minutes to quickly contribute. Hello, Mr. Hussein Wale, are you with me? Okay, while I will type for Mr. Hussein Wale, then Olushola Bamigbade can carry it from there.
Yeah, good evening all.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. From my own end, good evening, everyone. From my own end, in addition to what others said, I think one of the things that has been, sincerely speaking, this has really put in deep my hand. I think the best solution we can do as individuals is for us to vote leader that is, that is qualified. When our leader is not qualified, then what do we expect of the followers? So we need a good leader. So, and it is when we all can vote a very good leader that things can be turned around. That is when we can have a positive change. If not, this is how things will continue. That is just that from our own.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Topscrew, you are next, sir.
Good evening once again. It's good to have everyone around. Talking about the problem of the country, just highlighting them is kind of rhetorical for me. Everybody knows that. And the fact remains that we have a leadership vacuum, irrespective of what we have, irrespective of what we want to claim as human resource. But the fact remains that we cannot continue to fold our hands. There are a few things I will expect us, or I will suggest that we do. One is just like Quadri said, participation in politics. You can't just continue to sit down and look. No, we have to get involved. The era of is none of my business is over. If you are yet to get your PVC, make sure you get it as soon as possible. If you feel that where you have your PVC but you cannot vote there, then make sure you transfer your PVC to where you can vote. That is very, very important. And another thing is this, on the personal note, see, we don't need to deceive ourselves. We don't need to paint things. Things are really bad beyond, to a large extent, beyond repairs. So as it is, let's just find our way. If you know you have the resources, if you know you can find your way out, just get out of this place. You can continue doing your activism from the abroad. That's a fact. Because it is safer to do that from outside than doing it here. Because here you risk your life, you risk the life of your families. So as it is, just find your way to get out of here. And if you cannot get out of here, well, if they say if you cannot beat them, then join them. But if you're joining them, join them with your head. Know what you are doing. So, because as a matter of fact, we are still talking about NSAS protest and all, and we are talking about gagging of social media. The fact remains that most of these politicians don't even use the social media. They are youths like us that work as a PA, and the ones that report to them. And as it is, that means the youths are the ones selling us out.
Yeah,
so if we as youths cannot galvanize ourselves to make things work, then how do we go about it? We can't keep blaming the 70s and the 80s. The fact remains that the 70s, the 80s are still the youths that they are using to steal ballot boxes. We are still the ones they are using to cause violence. They still use the youth for a lot of things. So another thing I'll suggest is this, the point of you standing aloof when you have all the miscreants around you. Come on, forget about the fact that they are miscreants. The 15 naira, the 100 naira gift to them goes a long way if you don't know. It might be a saving grace for you no matter what. We need to actually take the message to the grassroots. The people we have always been looking down on, those are the set of individuals that will collect the 1,000, 2,000 on the day of election. So it is better when you start moving close to these people and making them understand that they deserve better. They deserve better. The country can give them something better, much more than 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira. I believe with this, things are going to get better. But on the personal note, if you have the means, you have the resources, just get the hell out of this country.
Thank you, Mr. Top School. Mr. Funshaw, you're next, sir.
Good evening, everyone. This is the first time I'm greeting everybody. Can you all hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Yes. To a large extent, I appreciate everybody's contribution, and we have actually taken time to point out the major issue, but largely the major thing still boils down to orientation, our mindset, and the poverty level in this country. Because if you look at it very well, there is someone that will collect 500 naira to carry out some activity just because of the fact that it's poor. There's some people you can't give 500 naira to travel from Sokoto to Jos to go and fight. So to some extent, those people are still capitalizing on the level of poverty in this country and the orientation which individuals have. So based on what Mr. Topscrow has said, in all our endeavor, in every opportunity, we should try and orientate as many people as we can, because I think that's the best saving grace. If that is not done, then there is no much we can do, because those guys believe that they don't need to work. They just have to wait till the day of election and buy the results. So on another note, according to what he said, if you can go out, then I think that's the best option for you. And also, hope I've not spent too much time though.
Just 1 minute remaining. Fire 1 minute.
And a lot is still boils down to the orientation, because when people always talk about youth participating in or being in political position, the question I always ask is the House of Rep, the councillors, they are youths, they are young guys. And what have they done different? So which means if they have not done anything different, then that means if they still get to the higher position, they will actually be who they were. So it's more or less like orientation, and so that everybody will believe that it's not just to get there to go and eat, but to go and serve.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Taiwo.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Taiwo Adekola, Yanesa.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very proud to be here, and I'm happy to have my colleagues here also. The solution, straight to the point, is we don't understand what is called the new Nigerian dream, because it is when someone has a dream of a new beginning, of a new entity, of how it should look like. That is when the person will make plans, we have goals, we have a mission to achieving that dream. Not everybody can see what we are saying. That's the truth. What you are actually saying as what you want Nigeria to be, not all can see it. So we need to ensure that everybody see the same thing that we are seeing, the new Nigeria. Before America got to that stage, there was a journey to freedom. So we need to start our own journey. It won't be easy. And also, to just wrap it up, there's something that is called the ability to ensure that things are delivered in the right sense of how it should be delivered. Amongst us, we have what we call sentimental analysis. When we are sentimental about how things should be carried out, we won't drive anything to any destination. Even if we the youths get there and we are sentimental about it, we are tribalistic. Number one thing, they say religion is the opium of the poor. When we are using religion to really cover up a lot of things, it's a problem in this country. Religion, take away that part first. I'm not saying we should exclude it totally. Let us use everything with logic, and things will go out smoothly. But religion has really caused us more harm and good.
Done good. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Chosen, you are next, sir. Omoniji Ayenro.
All right. Thank you, everyone. This is a very, very nice, gathering. It's actually an honor to be among intelligent folks like this. I'll go straight to the point. Can you hear me, Mr. Moderator?
Clearly.
I'll go straight to the point. You see, for example, now we're in the generation of, according to this NSAS slogan, it is Sorosuki, no disguise. I mean, we don't have the mic again. So actually, we're
say it as it is.
Conscious that we have a voice, exactly, and they now know we have a voice. So if anybody is saying something somewhere that probably we have to join the grassroots, the fact is that we have a voice and we can use our voice loud and clear. Now, involving in politics does not necessarily mean you have to participate, you have to contest. You have to actively be involved, have your PVC, decide who you want to represent you as, even from your local government chairman to your House of Representatives to the Senate House. If anybody misbehaves, you call him back. This way, look, for example, look at that lady that was telling us that smokers and drug addicts that are running the protest. Now they're already calling her back to, they starting a call-up process back. Now, if she's used as a scapegoat, others will not fall to that same thing. Unfortunately, we don't know who is who until they get there. But yes, when you get there, you misbehave, you come back home. So we need to start using our voice. We need to start using our power. You know, when there is silence, then there will be lawlessness. But when everybody speaks up, then things will fall in place. So I just want everybody to actually participate in politics, not just by shouting. Get your PVC. When I take the next person beside you, tell the person about this and this. Listen to people that I want to vote for. Forget PDP or APC. Vote for people that are intellectuals, that have what it takes to run the country. Not just Buhari alone. The governor, the senator, the House of Rep, the
chairman, councillor,
everybody that is going for politics. Exactly. Be actively involved. Don't just go there and go and vote for the president. No.
Thank you very much,
the
sir.
person that is very close to you is your local government chairman. You must bring him back to his senses. That way things will go well. And of course, the most important thing is if you can Japa, at least do it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, sir. So next is Dare Joseph. I think I'm using the free version of Zoom, so I'm going to be disconnected in 5 minutes. But I'm going to immediately create another one and we'll start again. So that will leave Endurance and Tobi Akinshefumi as the last speakers. So I'm taking Dare Joseph next.
Yeah, hello guys. It's good to be here today. After a very long time of seeing everybody, it's good to be seeing some of our faces. Straight to the point, everybody has said one thing or the other about some of the problems we are facing in this present country of ours. I am going to be highlighting on this system. I think for any business to exist and for the survival of any business, there's need for a valid system. System is what sustains a business that is going to last a very long time. That's what differentiates people who have a large scale business and a small scale business. People who have a large scale business put their business on systems that wherever they are in any part of the world, they are able to operate their business. So Nigeria, the system we operate is kind of archaic and it makes everything to be the way it is nowadays. So it's very obvious. And one thing is this: the northern people holds a very huge share of power in this country, if not the largest share. So they understand the system of poverty. They are not going to be, alleviating poverty anytime soon, because this is a system that ensures that they have power over their people, and power is something critical to, to having that dominion, and it's for a very long time. So I think we need to restructure the system if that is going to happen anytime soon, because now we are talking about involvement in politics, involvement in the process, which I actually buy into. But when we look at it's going to be very hard for us to, lend our voice. Our voices are heard and everything we have been saying, but the way the system is right now, because the judicial system, everything, they've virtually bought everything, and it's just money back. It's all about the money. So I think the value system needs to be restructured. Everything must be put on a scale of truth. The judiciary, the law arm of the law arm of government, everything must be true. And before I call it a quit, I think another thing is value system. Mr. Honorable Taiwo said something that religion must be scrapped off and all of that. I understand the perspective you are coming from, and I'm not trying to be, to sound religious here, but let me tell you something. If there's something that has kept this nation existing for a long period of time, is the fact that we have good people that still, instill values in people. Because let me tell you, the fact that you and I are still here and we can talk and dialogue is still because some values have been instilled in you and I. Let's look at the world today. The people that these politicians are able to, change their minds with money and all of that. There are people that don't have enough value. We are saying now that, okay, anybody can be bought with money, millions of naira, thugs that have not seen 50,000 in their life before. And a politician come and give them 6 million. They will virtually do anything. But you and I that we have parents that have, instilled some level of value in us. There's no amount of money they can give to us that can, make us go out of our way to do anything for this.
We are going to be disconnected in less than a minute. Mr. Endurance and Toby Akinshefumi will be the next one will reconnect. But please go ahead. It's going to cut automatically.
Okay, yeah. So I think our value system must be upheld. Whatever we do, yes, religion, some people hold it as a means of power, but if it is used as, in truthful ways, I think religion is still going to be a value, system. I mean, something that is going to help us to, sustain the value system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So let's just run the time, or let me end the meeting. So I'm going to reshare another link immediately, and then Endurance and Toby Akinshefumi, you are next. So before we move to the main point on the agenda, I'm sorry for the disconnection. It's been long. I subscribed. I didn't know I'll be using it again. But if the meeting is going to be holding, probably
by the time these people come with their little change and feel and promises which they know that they won't even fulfill, they will go with it. Honestly, it's as simple as that. So I don't know. I would like us to look for a way or devise a means that we can actually go close to. Because if you check this NSAS stuff, at a point they couldn't do anything about it. Then later they went to rogues. Fine, we know who rogues are. Hoodlums. They want to fight. In fact, they prefer to fight than they can fight for you for free. Than give them money. They just like to fight. So you understand? That's what they do. Now you are even giving them money. Okay, see, you are making them feel like they are important. They will go out there and destroy anything. That was what brought an end to that NSAS. It was a game they played well and it worked for them. Okay. So you understand? Mm-hmm. So me, I'm seeing two problems here. I'm seeing weaponizing poverty and I'm seeing the hoodlums part. So that weaponizing poverty, that one is something that in the long run, it might be very difficult to tackle because we know how poor people are. In fact, they say Nigeria is one of the most poorest nations in the world.
The most.
Number one.
Poverty level in Nigeria.
So just imagine, and they when it's time for, I'm sure that if you check all this palliative that they said they kept and people started discovering them, their idols and all like that.
Election.
Exactly, they are trying to keep all those things here. Like they will just bring it out and you start voting and 4 years of our time is gone again. They start looting and they start packing all the money, behaving anyhow, killing people. So that's it. We have a very long way to go. I don't know if we can actually devise a means to tackle this poverty something. That's just it. Because enlightening people will not be enough. By the time that time comes, when they see all these things, when they see maybe they are giving them 5,000 naira, they are giving them 4 packs of noodles, they will definitely go for it. And it's look at what happened. Whoever thought what happened in those states will happen? I did not think about. I never for once. Even if that guy is going to win, I never thought it would be like that. Look at it, flawlessly, just because of one small money, and that's what will keep happening, honestly. So I don't know if we can look for a way to, which I don't think it's something that I think this thing is even more than is out of our hands. If we can look for a way to like eradicate this poverty thing, because that's their best bet now. Then this hoodlums part, I feel we need to start talking to people like hoodlums. Like we need to help them understand that no, guys, you can't be like this forever.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Mr. Tobiaki Shefumi. The last person should be Endurance, but he's
No
not
wahala.
here back. I don't know why, but I think I'm here to contribute. Please let me contribute my own minutes too. So the thing I
Okay,
like,
no wahala.
we've gone like a long way, and most of us has mentioned the problems we feel is the problem we feel Nigeria is currently facing. But I personally, I feel there's actually I don't know, a conspiracy that all these people knew about and they're keeping it secret. Now, when you look at the current crop of leaders in Nigeria, there are people that has been in power since around 1970, 1980, 1990. This way, military period in Nigeria and in Africa. If you like noticed, number one, someone mentioned education. Are they I think no, it's not Adeomi Kodri, but someone mentioned someone mentioned education, like is a very key thing. If you like noticed in Nigeria before 1980, the education in Nigeria used to be good. Finish in Nigeria, you can study in UK, US, get scholarships easily. Their spoken English is very good. The way they write, very excellent. Fast forward to 2020, like it's even NCE graduates, HND graduates, and some even university graduates, they don't have good grasp of English. Like a lot of us suffered it. In fact, I suffered it. I went to a private school, paid a lot of money for private school education, and still yet I was not taught well. And it's kind of linked to what ASU is kind of fighting for. I feel the government intentionally, they just don't want education to be good. And the reason is this: it's only people that knows, that can read and go in depth, that can fight them. When you know you don't have the power to recruit, you don't know. In Yoruba, there's a common saying that it's only Akowe or Lowo Luman Lokot. All these things should like be solved. We should know a whole lot of these things: how to go to court, how to file petitions. Like it's rare for young people to file petitions. It's all those old people that files petition. It's because like they don't even want us to know anything. These things are even in the constitution, but intentionally they don't want us to know. They want to take the education away from us. Fast forward backwards, 1970 something, primary schools, most people I knew in my hometown went to teachers college. If you see the books they've authored, if you see the letters they've written, if you see like the way they speak, just teachers college in those days, like they are very good, very excellent. But now education is so bad. I think there was a time when they said these teachers, was giving them problem. They did a lot of manipulation and they subdued them. No teacher can come out to fight. When was the last time secondary school or primary school teachers went on strike because of bad infrastructure? And look at public school. Look at how some public schools don't have windows. A lot of public schools don't have windows. I feel education is one weapon they are using. Again, poverty. 3-4 weeks ago, a whole federal president is empowering with Keke Napep in 2020. That shows you that what they want for all of us is to ride bike, ride Keke Napep, do tailor, barber. So we just do all those kind of things. Tabati Dele Lale, find one place to sleep and you can't question them. I feel intentionally they are promoting this thing, like Mr. Toby said, so that they can weaponize it. When in 2020 you are still doing empowerment with Keke Napep, Keke Napep people, I'm not trying to discredit any job, but it's not possible for you to write Keke Napep from morning to night and say you want to fight government and say you want to recall and say you want to like write petition and say when they will give you 7,000 to vote, you will not vote. It's kind of rare. When in other countries, look at Facebook. Facebook came around in 2004, 2005 now. And Facebook, the money Facebook has made for US government is more than Nigeria's budget, yearly budget. Apple is worth $2 trillion in valuation. Apple is a company that came about in early 2000s. And in 2020, they still want us to be riding Keke Napep. I feel these are things they like intentionally they want to use as weapon. So I feel the solution in my own is nationwide education. Even the northern elites they are using, northern people they are using. Someone mentioned, Funshaw said Northerners. they just want intentionally, they don't want any of them to go to school. That's why there's Boko Haram. They don't want them to go to school so that they can use them as much as they want. You get, and I like the Northerners has their problem, Easterners and Southerners. So I'm not going to like be tribalistic or something, but I feel education and poverty is the key they are using. And if you can defeat those two things, just those two things, everybody that will contest will have brain. Because if you even do well, the movement you fuck up, just one fuck up, they will remove you. So that's my own contribution. We are still waiting for endurance, but since the endurance,
I'm here now. Are you crazy? Endurance is here.
Oh, okay. Let me, Eddie. Oh yeah, now please your contribution before we move to chapter 3.
Hello everyone.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. I'm the only one.
Yeah, people can. Yeah. Truth is, the way Nigeria has been structured, it has been structured in a way that the allocations or the resources, that dividends from the resources are the whole nation brings, or dividends are of resources that the whole nation gets, is structured to go to a particular set of people. There's this interview I saw on Sir Amadou Bello. I hate that nigga. Now he was saying he saw no reason why.
Let me know light. I'm coming.
Go ahead.
He said he saw no reason why any other tribe apart from the Hausas should head any department or any government-owned ministry or department. That if an Hausa man cannot be the head in such department or government-owned agency, that they will have to outsource to expatriates.
Expatriates. I can never allow any.
And if you look how Nigeria is structured today, thank you. That was, I think, that agitation brought about the Biafran War, because even in the military, Ojukwu was a military officer. Even in the military, what they saw then was high-ranking officers were from the Hausa tribe. Why those from the south and those from the east were not given positions? They just remained, like no promotion was coming, and they just remained. So common knowledge now made them understood that, okay, we've been segregated. These people is like they don't know we are part of Nigeria. You get? So those issues has brought about a turmoil that
1 minute more,
I don't
sir.
think if that's what about a turmoil that I don't think if we sit down, like everybody generally, like we have to sit down and restructure Nigeria. I know the people have their own problem. For example, poverty has eaten deep in the morals of the Nigerian people, because everybody wants to hold what they can't even finish from themselves. But I see no reason why a politician should have billions of naira in his account. Whoever that politician is cannot finish that money in a single lifetime. So what's the essence? So I think solutions henceforth should be sensitization. In as much as we have good people that like, for example, this NSAS movement and protest, we had few people that understood what the whole movement was about. They came out, people were there in their numbers, in thousands. They came out fighting for a just cause. While at the same time, we had people that were bought with a few 500 naira. I think one area in Abuja, they paid hoodlums 500 naira to unleash mayhem. Just imagine if that, as Mr. Tunde has said, if education was given priority, I don't think anybody wants to harm or inflict pain on another person just because of 500 naira. 500 naira is just $1.50. So who would want to go and inflict pain on someone because of just 500 naira? So that's where the whole thing boils down. Yes, we have bad governance, but I think the major problem here is Nigeria as a people. We have problem. There's no unity. We are divided, and at the same time, education is our problem. You said it already. Illiteracy eats down on all of us. Even at times, despite the fact that I consider myself as a graduate, but deep down it's like I wasn't schooled enough. Like the whole education system,
And it's actually
like
not your
like
fault.
you get
It's
like
intentional.
I'm always
That's what they're even the tertiary institution that is still struggling, the university that is still struggling, they still want to stifle it to be worse. So let's move forward, sir.
Thank you. The government of today.
Okay. Please wrap up. Just wrap up.
That's all I have to say now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So the main thing is that me I noticed personally is we can't really do a lot except we work on ourselves. We can't have problems and want to solve bigger problems. We can't have our own problem and say we want to solve Nigeria. We can't have our own personal problem and say we want to solve bigger problems.
How will someone who has not eaten want to go and tackle national problem? How?
Mr. Dimai, I'm seeing you, but I really want us to move on faster. But let's still give you one minute to contribute, and we'll move on to the most important part of this.
Okay.
Please,
Thank you very much.
1 minute, please.
Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. One other thing I would like to have is, like Ed rightly said, what I think should be a solution is for us to split. Let Biafra go their own way. Let the Republic go their own way. I don't know if any of us listen to Nnamdi Kanu. I used to think my own notion about the guy was different, but when I listened to him recently, I realized the guy is very intelligent and he actually knows what he's doing. I would like us to just try and listen to that guy. Go to YouTube and listen to his interview with Billy Momodu on 28th October, very recent. The guy said a lot of things that makes enough sense. So I think going forward, the basis, the foundation, they say the Bible says if the foundation is spoiled, what will the righteous do? The foundation of Nigeria was built on number one, deceit, dishonesty, and so when the whites came, I would like every one of us to read the history of Nigeria, how Nigeria came about. You know that this thing has been happening right from onset, right from they colonized the northerners. Naturally, we are all not supposed to be Nigerians because this country is too big, comprised of so many different tribes and different cultures for us to be in one country and call ourselves Nigerians. It shouldn't be so. We have Yorubas in Togo, we have Yorubas in Benin Republic, but we are calling them different nationalities and they are not our brothers. But we are calling northerners that are one Almanjiri, somewhere that is not even, that have a very wrong notion about life, our own citizens, our own brothers. Which is very wrong. They are not supposed to be our countrymen. Which is not possible. So probably all of us should have the mindset that let us please for the Dual Republic, Biafra, and they should go their own way. Let us do our thing ourselves. Then we'll see how the thing will go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So moving forward, the main orientation is we can't solve bigger problems when we still have problems. Yoruba say ni to ba jeun yo lo or if someone is not matured enough, you can't ask, oh, liberiku talk about I don't know the English, you get. So we have to work on ourselves. We have to be more comfortable. Like even when it comes to contributing on the large scale, we are ready and we are there. But I feel we are not ready, and I feel we have to be ready. Although there is a lot we can do, probably by educating people around us, talking to them, participating in politics. Even the participation in politics, it will go a long way if we are probably richer, or if you are more developed, probably we have something. Just look at what these celebrities did during the NSAS thing. Their contribution sparked a lot of things. So we need to get to that place where maybe we have voice, or we have the capacity financially, or a lot of backing before our voice can be heard. And that has led to the next section. We actually asked for contributions on like the parts, but I think the two things we have is immigration opportunities. where and how. Then the other one, which is also very important, is sources of income, how to maximize them. I don't know if we have enough time to cover everything because I think we've spent up to 1 hour already and we've not even entered. Probably we should dedicate 1 hour to immigration opportunities, and maybe another time look for sources of income, or if we will have the time, but it will run into 12 or 1 a.m., which I don't know if people will have the battery to go, but I think we should not rush it. Let's take our time to phase one squarely and have a working system that, okay, from tonight, let us use this information, let us work from here and build on the information we're able to get. So like, let me quickly take suggestions in the chat box. Should we face immigration opportunity 1 hour, then another time look for another meeting for sources of income, or do we put the two together? So let me hear just type in the chat box to know what you should do.
Okay.
Okay. Chat box from 13 people. Which one should we take first? And okay, one at a time. Okay, please, let's make it faster because it's actually late and this is 11. Okay, one at a time. Okay, let's face 1 hour. Let's use 1 hour for one. Then we deal with another, one at a time. I think immigration is first. Let's face immigration opportunities. Is a very key part. It's very important, and when immigration for me is what I feel is called plan B, the plan A of plan B. Plan B means like you are using that one to settle yourself, especially at this time. This is the time where we talk about settling down, relationships and all. What if we have families abroad, they are okay and everything, but we want to become radical, we want to become like serious with this movement stuff? We can do everything here. Why? We know we have our own plan B already. You get? So let's work with immigration opportunities, where and how. So we'll do it like the first one. I want us to contribute not just what we know alone, but what we hear people doing, because like ideas is very important. And I think this now is tonight is getting the idea, then getting the ideas together and working on it. So let's work on our ideas tonight on immigration opportunities, where and how, and see how we can work on the idea. But if you have like people who really knows about this immigration of a thing, I really wants to like educate us on how and what we can do to make it work, then quickly signify so that we can have more time. But I'll still take from everybody, we are 13 in the group, 2 minutes each, 13 times, so that's 26 minutes. Then we can hear from every one of us. Immigration opportunities, what have you been hearing? Which of your friends recently traveled out? Which information can we leverage on? What do you think we have that we can leverage on? Specifically, furthering master's, PhD, I think is one sure thing that can work in our own advantage. But other ones are still there too. It can be work, it can be anything. So let's just brainstorm. I'm writing everything down, and I'm going to like probably record the video or make something that's package and information product, probably an ebook to send to everybody. Probably Mr. Theophilus can help me on that because he writes very good. But I'm writing everything down. I'm taking notes, and I'm going to start from Mr. Okay, let me start from Mr. Ade Omoniyi and Adenuro and end on the mic because the mic started. So Omoniyi, Adenuro, immigration opportunities, how and where? What have you had? How can you contribute? And which information do you think is vital that can help us in immigration journey?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I think this might actually be my last words before I go. My battery is on 9%. I was almost typing
think
bye message before you call my
started
name.
with you.
Thank you for that. So the immigration policy, although we know there are a couple of countries that run free education policies, like so Germany and Norway. Then Germany and Norway run free education policy, just require you to have certain amount of money in your account for your upkeep. And I think a couple of us, even among people in this group, we actually have gotten admission to school there, or due to this corona thing. So what I can just say is just need to make research on that. That's DAAD. That's the board that runs
Please,
Germany's.
let's take notes. DAAD.
Yeah, they run admission for schools abroad in Germany. That's the process and the admission and everything. So just need to pay for their VPN. Is it VPD? Then at least I think 30,000 to check your certificate and also to forward it to the university. Then you apply for the school. That is for Germany. Then for Canada, I kind of cheap if you have the money. Schools are as low as $5,000 per section. So, but basically, you also have to do research generally. Even China too, there are scholarships for engineering students, especially for mining engineering students. I stumbled upon one recently for Chinese people that want to go to China. As long as you want to go and learn the Ching and everything, you can also go there. So there are opportunities though, although the country we are in now, we still require money. That is the truth. You still require money to do everything. But if you want to go out, you definitely get a chance to go out if you have the money and the right information. Thank you very much. My battery is gone.
Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate. Let's move
Hello?
on to Mr. Adeyinka Adetunji. Yes, we understand, sir. Mr. Adeyinka Adetunji. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I believe you can hear me, please.
Clearly, sir. Clearly.
I'm sorry, this place is a little bit dark, so I might not be able to use the video.
No
option,
problems
please.
with the video. Your voice is what we want.
I believe it's okay.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. This place is very dark. Yeah, so what I would just like to say is just that concerning immigration and moving out and details like that, I don't really have much to say on it because let me just say I've been somehow silent on it. I've not really put that to heart. But I'm working on looking at it very, very soon because, there was a time we were all thinking this Nigeria is going to make way. But the way things are going now, everybody's having, other options and thought and everything. So I've always been among the school of thought that has felt anything you want to do, you can achieve it in Nigeria. But the way things are now, I think it's also an opportunity for us to just look into it and everything. So like Chosen said, I think most people that I know that have been traveling have majorly been traveling based on education, except you have somebody there that you're planning to get married to or that can link you up maritally or something like that. So I think education is the simplest way. Just trying to look for schools whereby you can definitely apply in for masters. And another thing I've also learned of recent is just that your graduating grade does not really matter. What matters majorly are your final year courses and what are your grades able to achieve on it and everything like that. So I think, the last what I was able to do,
4 semesters.
the last 2 sections, and you find out that most times the ones that you have problems with are majorly your first 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, 400. That's what they
yeah. So that's one of the things that most of us don't know. Yeah. So even though if you have a 3 point even though if you have a 3 point, you can still apply for masters abroad, and you can use the opportunity to just move out. Like one of my friends now, that was what she did. She applied for masters. She was able to get the opportunity, and very soon she's coming back home later in the year. She was our set, another department though. She's coming back later in the year to get married to one of my friends, and then they'll be moving on. So there are various opportunities. I think one of the ways you can easily move that might be cheaper is through education or academic related opportunities.
And which countries
so
can you suggest for education? Which countries do you want us to work on?
Now, if talking about mining generally, I've been seeing opportunities coming from China. Like we all know, most people are going to China. Some you can also try Germany. But I think now leading in education opportunities that takes in foreign students. the problem we have always been having is this GRE, TOEFL, and other
Yeah.
examinations and like that. But there are some countries that don't usually require those ones. So those ones are always easier and less competitive. Countries like France, like Australia, like Germany. But I prefer European countries because it is always easier compared to other countries where you have to learn languages
Learn
and things like
language.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think European countries are majorly okay compared to those Asian countries where you have barrier of languages and everything. So our fear has always been that GRE, TOEFL, and all those terrible, terrible exams. But I think we can escape them with some of all those countries.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Please let me, Mr. Dari Joseph, you are next. But I think to put this into perspective and to help everybody as much as possible, I will be working with some people, probably people that has the time and probably people that can contribute to like get this thing ready so that we can do the research on Germany, Canada, China, you get, and we can start giving updates on how to work on it. We give, okay, this is the ones, let's apply to this one. This is the requirement. Let's do this, you get, so that we can do the application at once and we can move at pace. Or secondly, so that we can give the in-depth information to everybody that wants to apply this education route. I think I'm communicating. So instead of like I have the recording of this session, and I am jotting a lot of things down. The things that are recurring is education. So we are going to like make it very, very practical and actionable. That let's say when we are done with this section and everything, we'll say, okay, by next week or by November ending, we will start applying. We'll start this, we'll start that. Then we'll be giving information on how to work on all these things. Like Mr. Niji mentioned the other time, I'm going to contact him to ask for people that he knows personally that have done this thing, that has gotten admission. What did you do? How much did you spend and all? Then we know how to make it work. So Mr. Dare Joseph, please fire on. I'm sorry again, this thing is going to cut in 5 minutes, but I feel we are gaining a lot, and this class is actually contributing a lot, and at the same time we are learning new things, you get. So it's going to cut in 5 minutes. Pardon me for that, but I'm going to try my best to not allow it cut next time. So pardon me for this. So Mr. Dare Joseph is going to cut in 5 minutes. I will reconnect immediately, but you have 5 minutes to fire. Mr. Dare Joseph, are you with us? Okay, let's move on to Mr. Top Scroll then. Mr. Temitope Akerele. Mr. Temitope Akerele.
Okay, sorry. Yes, I'm here. Considering what everyone has said so far regarding immigration and all, I have a bit of information though, but not really much. But the fact remains that they say the journey of a milestone, starts with a step. You are planning to immigrate and you still don't have your international passport. Wrong now. Wrong. So the first thing, please. Some people don't even know the road that leads to, passport office.
Yeah, NIS.
So please, if you are yet to get your passport, that is very, very important. That's the first step. Try to get that. If you feel you cannot come to Lagos, if you come to Lagos and Abuja, my dear, or Ogun State, you will bribe your way before you get it. I would advise you go to the less patronized states.
Yeah, on those states.
Southwest Ondo State.
I think it's 30,000. 30,000. So it's only
if you come to
Lagos later.
No, if you come to Lagos, you first of all pay 36,000. After that, you'll be using money to move your file up and down. That's Lagos for you. But so I advise you to do it probably on doing it, sure. Okay, those ones are still very much reasonable. So that's that about international passport. The next thing is this. I would have loved, I think we have Femi here. Femi is in China, anomalous. You might not be able to cast your mind to Femi there. Anomalous. I think anomalous is there. You will be able to say, give us a real breakdown of how he managed to get to China.
And the situation of things there, the realistic things you
Exactly.
expect.
They were able to, give us relatable instances, how it was able to scale through and all that. So that aside, like they said about Germany, Canada, like for Germany, it remains that if you want to look at the money is much, because you have to have money in your bank account, like 10,000 plus euros, that's about 5 million naira each year. But the fact remains that you can always apply for scholarship. There is no harm in trying. If you might be looking at it as, a more ill. It is until you try that you know that, oh, there is actually a way to even do this thing. If not until, late this year that I got to know that, even schools in the US to apply, they normally ask for, application fee. That there are times they open their portal for free application. I never knew.
Waive it. Sometimes you even need to meet
Exactly.
them that you are intelligent, you know book, but you don't have money.
Exactly.
And they will
waive things for you. I never knew because just like others. I'm a very really patriotic citizen. Just like I said on the group this morning, I love this country. But the fact is I don't like how the country is going. So that's it. We really need to, ask questions. That's what we will know. Then you have to show interest. If you don't have interest, then trust me, there's nothing anybody can say to change your mind. Then another thing I see that has been a very big issue in this, going abroad and all is your statement of purpose. People are really struggling with statement of purpose, writing those things. See, this one is no longer I am trying to do it coded, make my brother know, or when, as it is now, all of us were in the same situation. Everybody won't come out. So it is time for you to speak up. So it's okay. Nobody need to disguise here again. Speak out. Hey, I've been able to put up this. Who has experience in this? Who has done this? Who has done that? Come and help me out. Show people what you've been able to do. Let them help you correct your stuff and all. See, come on. There's no issue. There's no problem in sharing of knowledge because that helps us a lot. People will be able to share their ideas and tell you, okay, this is the experience I have and all. So aside Germany, where you have that you can also have scholarship. There's at the moment I think I have a link to. I saw an advert for Swedish scholarship. Although I didn't check their the application fee because you need to pay application fee to Swedish schools. But once you are able to pay application fee and they review your documents, your application for Swedish scholarship will be for April next year. So you can start your application now. You can start your application process now for Swedish schools. So I'll look for the link again and forward it to the private group, or I'll forward it to the the host. So you'll pick it from there and probably share with everyone. You can go there, read it all.
Allow people to stay in their country. When you are done with your school, I think most of the 99.9% of people that of immigrants don't stay, except if they are going to go through working visa. That's the only chance for you. And it's always very difficult to switch from students. In fact, no matter what you want to do, you have to come back to your country before you can make any other processing or whatever. Yeah, but the thing is, their students, their scholarship, these things are always very juicy, like very, very juicy. That's just the truth. They have the government scholarship and they have the university scholarship. So most of the times when you even put in for the government scholarship, if you are not lucky enough to get the government, the school might decide to put you on the scholarship themselves. Though it might not weigh up to what you are going to benefit if it's from the government, but it's still very okay. Sure, you understand? And it's not difficult. You don't have to have all the 4 point or all the first class in the world. And whatever it is that in fact, the necessary documents you need they are not something that will stress you. They are not tedious. It's cool. It's nice. If you really want to, then you can go about it. Just that leaving Nigeria to China will be on you. And anything after that, then they will take over from there. And they will give you stipends, accommodation. It depends on the kind of scholarship you get anyways. But if you can get the government scholarship or the school scholarship, you at least to some extent you get stipends, accommodation, and any other thing that you want to get. But I have that information all social. So I don't know if anybody feels like that's where they want to go to, and it's fine. But I can assure you that it's not tedious. It's very easy. If you put your mind on it, it's something you can actually achieve. Just that the only issue is because most of us that want to go out there, we are not going for educational purposes because we understand that we just want to go away from this country. So, trying to get money to run your traveling process, then eventually travel, and after a while you are compelled to come back. So you understand what I'm saying? So that's just the only issue I'm really having with that China stuff. But aside that, if it's for educational purpose and maybe enlightenment, and then maybe from there you can have better time and better chances of planning a better future for yourself. Fine, because you cannot even plan you cannot plan a better future in this country. You cannot plan a better future in this country. Because this country is so messed up. Like it's so messed up. Like you see things on the TV, you hear things in the news. Yeah, of course you can do that. You can do that. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying exactly what I'm saying. That you go there, you can decide to like use that time to like plan a better future for yourself, look out for another country and all like that. So even when you have to come back, you have to go out again immediately. So it's as simple as that. So if there's any information regarding China, I think I have, don't let me call it first class, but I have something very close to a first class. I have a 4-point information about it. So if anybody needs to, if anybody needs anything, if you need to, anything you need to know about it, you can let me know. Then the Canada stuff, though it's almost like what this guy said, Theophilus, but I have a blog already, and if he's going to add his own book to it, it's fine. His information are not always too much. It's just for, like, it helps to understand things better and to go faster about stuff. So it's as simple as that. So that's what I have to say. Those are the two countries. I have an idea about Germany at a point, but the money, and we know that, honestly, well, maybe because of the kind of person I am and the kind of my financial status. Because that thing is actually very expensive. It's only the ones that have the capability that can try it. And another thing is that, do you know that they are not even assured, like after the end of their schooling, they are compelled to come back. Just that it's easier to look for a way to, migrate and, just stay. Illegality, it turns legal. Just unlike China, that you have to come back immediately. You cannot stay. You are coming back. So that's just it. So even if you want to go to Germany and if you are going on a student visa, if your time elapses, you have to look for a way to permutate and just hang around till you can get something better to do and stay. Sure, you understand. So, but the money to go there is expensive. It's much. But if you put your mind on something, that's one thing that I've come across. Or how will I put it this time? That's one thing I've known recently. If you put your mind on something, if you really want to do something, the universe will come to your aid. If you are pushing towards the right direction, you are praying and you are trying to meet the right people for the right information and all, then everything will be fine. If you want to do something, just take a step. Then we got on our side. We can always do whatever it is we want to do.
Yeah, so let's move forward to Baba.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody, once again.
Good evening, sir.
So I've been listening to everything that's been said. Everybody has said well. So what I can just say, we are looking at traveling out now. Although some information I have with me, I'm not too sure of it. But actually, I have like 3 guys in US. So because lately I've been a very unserious. Before now, I've been a very unserious person. Because I've seen people compel me, even beg me to
apply.
Try this school in US. Apply. Even my guys in US, because 2 of my roommates.
Your roommates.
Some people know Rabiu. That's Sheung. Then the first roommate I'm having too. I had that was in Predigree and 100 level. The guy too is in US. So he was like telling me that the other guy, the first roommate I had, was like telling me that we apply. I was like, okay. He gave me some universities, even the university in his state, IUPUI. So
Indianapolis.
So what he told me, yes. So what he told me was when you just apply. So on getting there, I saw the what was it called, the fee I'm to pay. I was like, Benny, this is not going to fly. I won't see this money. So I called him again. I told him. They said, so Benny, register for this thing. Let them give you admission.
Apply.
Because when you apply, he now told me that when he applied, he was not having anything. He went there, and when he got to the school, as in Japa, he just went there. He went straight to the school, deferred the admission, and went away. And I've seen guys, like 3 guys that did it. Even Rabiu, the same Rabiu that I told you, is the same thing he did. Like, it's not as if I'm advising that if you go to the school, like, so I'm just saying, people talking about, what was it called? Price, like the fee. I'm just telling you what some people are doing.
Yeah.
Then
Or
after, like,
to contribute, you can also defer in that place and now apply to a cheaper school, a community school, like one of the cheapest that will even be like kobo, and you will even be in, you will be in status. It's not as if you Japa, you are still studying.
Oh, I know. I didn't say
welcome. Japa is allowed.
I'm not saying you are running away. All I'm just saying is at least you defer the admission.
Yeah,
then when
the expensive school, go to community college.
Go to community college. That's what they do.
So
that's
what
I'm
now. Go to Ivy Tech.
And most of the point is, most of these schools too, you don't presently. I think US. Most of these schools in US, you don't need to write whether GRE.
Yeah, they're starting GRE now because there's a research that confirms GRE is not even important to graduate school.
Yes, and even recently because of this COVID-19 issues now.
Yeah, application fee and TOEFL. In fact, TOEFL has been scrapped. Just prove that you went to university in Nigeria and you spoke English in the university.
So that is that about US that I know. Then so let me move to Germany. Though since Germany has been what almost everybody is trying to run to because of their free tuition, type of system. All you is either you're on scholarship or you apply for universities that runs on a free tuition. I was okay. Let me just. I won't mention names. I was surprised they did. Though some people know what I've been through or what I'm going through presently. So I was surprised. A day I applied for university. I guess Ubuntu knows, and my guys they know. So I was surprised when we were in a meeting at the university. I was surprised I saw 4 of my departmental mates. Was it not 3 of my departmental mates? It was like shocking. I had to call all of them. I said, guy, don't tell me say I apply for this. Because I had to go and check. Like, I'm seeing this so name. I was so surprised. So
this guy.
Let me just. So these guys are. So these guys were. They applied for this stuff. So it's just a kind of encouragement. So most of the time, like Top School, I do credit Top School for it. Most of the time, it posts links on WhatsApp. If you check our WhatsApp very well, it just posts randomly. So it's just an advice to start with. If you see a school that has a scholarship, or you just see a random school, you can just post. You just see a scholarship and just post. You don't know. So it might even be someone that, let me just say, someone might just be lucky and just what's it called? Just have the opportunity, just log in, register, and might just be lucky. Boom! At least one way or the other, you've helped someone. So let me just reverse back to the Germany issue. Germany, most of the universities there, at times you need uni assist. That was what he was trying to say the other time. Uni assist. Yes, and that's DADs where you can search for universities. You search for universities. There are criteria under DAAD. Sorry, DAAD. There are criteria like the type of course you want to study, whether it is free tuition you want, whether it's only English speaking course or German speaking course. You can pick, like you can select these options. So it now brings out schools that you need to that on the criteria. Yes. So That is that. Then you can even put there whether you need schools that you write GRE or not. I guess it's there. So, and there are other schools in Germany that you don't even need GRE. All you need is this what was it called? Letter English proficiency. English proficiency letter from the school. You just go to FUTA, send exams and record. You collect your English letter of English proficiency, meaning you are being taught in English language. English stamped by exams and record. So I guess with that we can look at countries like, and maybe before the end of next year, at least maybe half or almost 60% of us can just say at least we've left this country and we are looking forward to even coming back or trying to help the country to move forward. I guess that's just the main aim.
Thank you very much, Mr. Onibaba. Let's go to Eddie. Eddie, you are next. After Eddie, we are rounding up with Mr. Quadri.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Particularly this year and last year, they've been an eye opener for me. I know everybody wants to leave this country. Like, given the chance, everybody wants to leave. But I will say what everyone has been saying for the past 1 hour. Get your passport. I have been a victim of not having my passport ready on time when I needed it. And despite that, I've had so many chances in the past that, in fact, I just needed to just submit my passport and I would have been given whatever country. For example, I had opportunity for Schengen visa. I had the link up with a woman that was supposed to, through the Consular General, German embassy, I was supposed to get like 2 years Schengen visa then. But she just asked me, "Come, do you have a passport?" I was like, "No." And that's how that one ended. Also, this year too, I needed it for something. Although I tried to, but I guess none of us saw COVID-19 come into play. We didn't really see the impact. Like, we could not estimate how the impact will be on the society and Nigeria as a whole. So if you don't have a passport by now, I think trying to get it before even this year, you would, if you do your research properly, you get so many opportunities that you can actually apply for. And let's say China, for example, requires that you have your passport ready before you apply. You dig? Then other countries like there's this one I know for summer. Have you guys heard of summer before?
Which country?
It's usually between two or three countries or 4 countries per se. So it's Italy, Belgium, Germany, I think Netherlands or so. So basically, it's for MetaMask students, but I think mining students can apply for it too, because in the prospectus it's written there that if you have passion for mining, materials and the likes, it's for, I think the masters is for sustainable
environment.
Sustainable materials per se.
Oh, okay.
So I think mining can, because I have a friend that left on Sunday, left for Italy, left for Milan on Sunday evening, and it was through the same summer program. I think 5 of them from MetaMask left the same day. At least that's success rate. So if we take that into consideration, I think that summer program is a go. And it has, initially you don't get to pay anything, just your flight fee, but you have to pay for take some courses, like requisite courses. Then once you pass the courses, then your scholarship will become valid. Like, there's a point you have to meet up with those few courses you have to take, then scholarship becomes valid. So I think the scholarship would reimburse you up to like 5,000 to 10,000 euros. I'm not so sure. That's for that one. Then you people have been mentioning DAD, DAAD. Basically, DAD is a body in Germany that is they give out scholarship, let's say, but the criteria for their scholarship we all know now it has to be a 2-1. But and so many schools in Germany per se, they are usually tuition-free schools or extremely cheap schools. Like I think I stumbled on some mining engineering schools in Germany that I think €1,000 a year or €2,000 a year, and some were absolutely free. But what that does is they give you scholarship. If anyone applied for what's it called, this PTDF scholarship, you see that if you choose Germany, it takes you to a page where you have to fill out one PDF like that. That PDF is actually from that. So that is the body responsible for scholarships in Germany, I believe. And there's China too, which is relatively easy, provided you have all the required documents you need. Also, I know of Canada, but Canada requires, regardless of what anybody says, Canada requires IELTS for sure. Because I have a friend and a neighbor who is actually trying to get secure admissions from uni in Canada. So as a prerequisite, it needs IELTS badly. So that one I know of. Germany also, we've spoken about that one. Germany requires you to pay. They said I was speaking to a Futarian that was my neighbor back in uni.
Is that network? Hello.
I think that's network for me.
Hello. Yeah, and we are almost rounding up with Bayoness. Then we'll plan a course of action so that the meeting will not just be a meeting, it will be very, very actionable. Okay, it will be closing remark. Let me disconnect and connect us back so that we can